So to drop the price of Bitcoin on Binance by 2%, you need to sell $28 million worth of Bitcoin. That will drop the price 2%. Now, other exchanges will buy because it's much cheaper on there, but eventually you'll drag the price down. If you liquidate people in that process, you're going to get a major drawdown and it cascades into a major dump. Now, here's my theory as to why we have dumped, and it's mainly around the big wallet selling. There was a guy that brought Bitcoin below $1. He sold 1.3 billion. I can't remember his name for the life of me. But the reason we've crashed is a mixture of things. And here's my theory. Tell me if you agree or not in the comments. But it is known to everyone in crypto that it's a cycle based element. Whether you think it's going to last or this time's different, it doesn't matter. So if you see that previous cycle, there was a top followed by a capitulation, so it draw down, and then we had it rise up again, so another higher top, which is the double top, and then we sunk down and we never really recovered. It was kind of like a little, what do you call it, dead cat bounce, and then we went into a bear market. So if you see that previously, you'll be like, okay, the same length of time, regardless of if there's ETFs or there's institutions buying, I think we're going to repeat the same process. So I'm going to take my profits. That is probably what has happened here. Mix that in with, liquidity being at the top. Everyone sort of got caught short, holding at the top, buying at the top. So it ends up being that it takes more buy pressure now because everyone's Bitcoin sitting up there looking to, oh, please buy me at $93,000 where I brought. That's my buy order or my sell order. And now it only takes 19 million to drop. So I'm going to sort of go into, it's easier to explain on the DeFi side, simply because it illustrates it here. We can look at order books, we can look at liquidity on central exchanges, but there's so many of them and it isn't clear who holds what. But here we have a decentralized exchange. So if I start to put, I don't know, one Bitcoin and $100,000 within this range, which is a concentrated liquidity pool, which is what this pool is, and the price moves in here, I have half Bitcoin, half USDC, and if the price goes up, it sells, people buy my Bitcoin and it swaps it into dollars. Now, if the price falls, I end up with just Bitcoin, and then the value of Bitcoin's falling and the value of my portfolio is dropping. As you can see here, there's only 600,000. So at some point, this was half. This was about 4 million, 2 million in Bitcoin, 2 million in USDC. Now, what's happened is, unless these people get their money back, so the price goes up and then people buy their Bitcoin, they're going to eventually have to sell. So we're not out of the woods just yet. And this is very common because 80% of people brought Bitcoin above $100,000. So that is a lot of people at a loss. If we don't bounce back to that level, or at least look likely, then we're going to get a period of prolonged selling. There's more sellers in the market than buyers. Of course, there's people that buy their Bitcoin. You can see from the chart, even just on a small decentralized exchange. But this is why it takes more liquidity to buy, because there's more Bitcoin than dollars. This is why the price movement is so large. Eventually, it will settle out. People will swap their Bitcoin back to dollars and then add LP or put buy positions on centralized exchange on their market books or order books, sorry, and then they'll do that. Now, the other thing is, when we had that mass liquidation event, believe it or not, it caught a lot of people off guard. And pretty much, I think it was down here somewhere. No, it wasn't. I'm lying. Where was it? Anyway, when we had that mass liquidation event, pretty much everybody got caught short. And I think it was here. And what's happened is the market makers that were, market making got liquidated hard. And they have a reserve of assets. I'm talking about the big guys. Now, if they're at a serious loss, what they're going to have to do is start selling again. So they're adding to the sell pressure, along with panic selling, along with liquidations. It's all come in. People are withdrawing from the ETF. It's like a bank run. Who can get their money out the fastest? Now, whether this sort of dries up, slows down, we do need a recovery psychologically to get people to understand that, okay, Bitcoin hasn't died yet. We still got a level leg in us at least. And I think it's either two ways. We go into a hard alt season where altcoins are going to start to pump and Bitcoin dominance is going to start to fall, or we're going to be in a position where Bitcoin is just going to drag everything down and it's going to suffer the hardest because it's gone up the hardest. It's performed one of the best out of all the altcoins, everyone in the top 100. So genuinely, keep an eye on the depth. Yeah, have a look, study it for yourself, look at liquidity levels, and then see. This is a bad example because this is just a small sort of liquidity pool. But if you look at some places like Binance that have major volume, major liquidity, then you'll be able to understand, okay, what is it going to take to drop this coin? And don't forget, it's not just, it's all other exchanges as well, Coinbase included, Bybit as well. So there is a lot of liquidity, there is a lot of funds out there, but are people going to buy at this level? It may need to go, Bitcoin to go 60K before everyone starts to say, actually, I can get a 2x out of this if I buy and hold now. I don't care if it goes lower, I'll just wait and hold because it hit 120 before. And at 80,000, you might think it's going to go lower. It doesn't look good. So it's all psychological. Is it a bargain right now? Are we uncertain? That's what most people think. And the institutions think the same. Everyone that invests in the ETFs think the same. So genuinely, time will tell, but we aren't out of the woods just yet. I wish you all the best, guys, and take care.